When I first arrived at college, if you had asked me why I was a non-observant Jew, I would have responded very sincerely that through critical reasoning I had determined that Reform Judaism was the most rational interpretation of the Torah and the truest to its original intention. At the time I had a collegiate level secular education and an elementary level Jewish education. The full 10 years of Hebrew school taught me how to be a good human, how to have a great discussion, how to read Hebrew letters, and even how to make hummus. And yet I had the expanse and depth of Jewish knowledge of, say, a 5-year-old boy or girl in an observant Jewish household. And I knew more than most of my Jewish friends who had dropped out of Hebrew school after the bar mitzvahs. The reality is that my analysis was premature and somewhat dishonest. The real reason why I was a non-observant Jew was by default and by convenience. My parents, for no fault of their own, were non-observant Jews by default. Their parents were non-observant Jews by default, and their parents came to America as young teenagers. In a similar vein, the great-grandparents of many other American Jews arrived after escaping or being released from a concentration camp in Europe. So you take these Jews who often never had the opportunity to develop a love of Torah and a knowledge of Torah, and as a result often never understood the beauty and the weight and the significance of the mitzvot. So surely when they arrived as strangers in America with observances that they didn't understand, um, surely the rational approach was to take a path of less resistance and to give up many observances, to join a conservative or reform shul. But they generally didn't give up observance for reasons of doctrine. They didn't mean to reject 3,000 years of Jewish observance and understanding, or to tell Rabbi Akiva and Rashi and Maimonides that they were straight up wrong. And so now that we have the opportunity, for the first time in generations, to really immerse ourselves in Torah, surrounded by people who have an incredible love for it, I think that the least that we can do as American Jews, if only for the sake of our great-grandparents who never had such an opportunity, is to dedicate half a summer to study in Eretz Yisrael in an Orthodox yeshiva or seminary where Torah isn't, slightly oversimplify things, a 5-year graduate program with an emphasis on the Wellhausen hypothesis, but rather the prime purpose of our very being, the love letter and instruction manual from which we can infuse every aspect of our lives with something infinitely holy and beautiful. And so that is my call to action. If you study at a seminary or yeshiva and then you believe that the first 3,000 years of Jewish understanding was deeply flawed, say that God is just the clockmaker, or that he didn't intend for the commandments to be binding, I honestly respect your opinion just as much as my own, and you're absolutely entitled to such an opinion. But surely we should give ourselves the opportunity to learn what for 3,000 years it meant to be a Jew. And you'll notice that I'm not urging anyone to change or to be more observant, though I certainly think that in general taking on observances is a very good thing. But rather I want to encourage everyone to experience the education that I was fortunate enough to experience, so that everyone has the background to make educated decisions on observance, as well as the understanding to live a very meaningful Jewish life. And on that note, I would like to wish you a happy day before Shabbos. And yeah.